The 21st century. With 2014 fast approaching, we find ourselves living in a world of excess. More is definitely more. More options, more access, more information, more. The world is constantly changing. Everything is faster. Faster cars, faster computers, faster connections. We live in a technocentric society driven by the expectation of immediate access and gratification. But the need to constantly provide new technologies to an ever-hungry marketplace has been eclipsed by the capacity to support those technologies.
The best technology, service and applications needs to be built around a solid, future-proof foundation. And that foundation is your data centers. We acknowledge FNB have been voted as the most innovative bank, and we will be proud to be part of that.
As one of Africa's leading financial institutions, with the most popular banking website on the continent, FNB is driving towards a level of online functionality that will make it possible for customers to bypass the need for branch interaction. In future, the bank plans to have customers who purely interact with the bank via digital channels.
Steve speaking.
Steve! Oh my God, Steve! Whoa! Steve!
Excuse me.
We got cut off last time. We didn't finish the song. You're in luck. 1, 2, 3, 4.
FNB. How can we help you?
Tfmc has over the past 13 years grown to an organization that has been made accountable for 135 mission-critical exchanges and now wish to bring FNB the same level of expertise, not only during the construction phase, but also during the post-contract stage to support and maintain the infrastructure that has been installed. The team has left no stone unturned to engineer and develop an optimized solution against the criteria as has been required in the RFP.
Good afternoon. I'm the CEO of Tfmc, and as an organization with an annual turnover in excess of 2 billion and a portfolio of approximately 3.1 million square meters, which is mainly made up of support mission-critical infrastructure in the ICT environment. We understand your requirement and are proud to have the opportunity to present to FNB. We provide a comprehensive turnkey type service from design and construction through to facilities management. We recently retained the maintenance engineering services contract for Standard Bank South Africa, for which includes the call center function. This integrates into the Tfmc execution delivery portal to give the client ease of live information and reporting transparency, which installs a level of comfort to the client when the customer experience and service delivery of such key importance. We understand FNB's institute requirements, and to give you an example, we have done similar projects of this nature. We have River Club, we have Centrex, and we have PPR, and PPR handles the majority of international telecommunications traffic. We prefer long-term partnerships, which makes for long-term success. Our core competency relates to facilities like data centers for the information and communications technology and telecommunications industry. With an in-house dedicated transformation department, Tfmc is also a Level 2 BBB contributor, enhancing value to our clients' procurement spend.
Clarkson Orette Incorporated, or CAI, has over the past 31 years achieved a reputation for excellence in the consulting electrical and electronic engineering area. This includes major contributions to high-tech corporate, broadcast, communications, retail and commercial sectors for both government and private sector clients.
Clarkson Orette have been involved in a number of data centers, many of which have been for leading financial institutions such as the Samaran Data Center, Belleville for Tfmc, and a host of others, on which we were well versed on doing the Tier 4 designs as well as obtaining Tier 4 certification with the Uptime Institute.
Selecting the correct partners to fulfill project specifications is another CAI value proposition.
There will be guys that will be selling you generators that we all can do. They will be selling you PSs that we all can do. They will be selling air conditioning units, which we all can do. But there are a couple of fundamental key differentiators between the submissions that I would like to draw your attention to, and these are: we as the consortium will be bringing the combined experience to you of more than 100 years between the various disciplines involved in the project. There will be value engineering to each and every aspect of it, and each and every component that is selected will be done against a technical background. The combined expertise of the consortium has constructed more than 25,000 square meters of data centers. We bring innovation such as the largest data center in South Africa, which is Samrand. There's a depth of resources that the consortium bring to the table, because not only do you have the people around the table that will be delivering solutions to yourself, there are also many youngsters and engineers that can follow on to the relationship that we wish to develop with yourselves.
TC Design has been involved in many data centers and have been involved in the provision of architectural services of the most leading data centers in RSA.
TC Design Architects is a company that was established 56 years ago. It certainly has a proven track record and a consistent client base that comes back over and over again for repeat commissions. I think one of the great strengths that TC Design can offer is that we have got the resources of a large company. However, we still give that personal service that a director would be involved right throughout the entire process. I don't think you gain the data center knowledge by doing one or two jobs. It certainly goes back to the days when we did APSA's head offices. They had small data centers involved in that. We've worked on the Standard Bank, which was a build-up from energy centers to the smaller data centers, onto Samrand, and also onto River Club, which was an in-situ build-up.
D. Smith & Associates has been involved in a number of ICT projects through the last couple of years. We focus on ICT consulting specifically and project management. One of the fields of expertise that we do have is around data center design specifically, and data center facility management. We also have delivered a number of migration projects and transition projects for clients as well, where we do the network and the IT migration from one side to another, or also taking the stuff out and putting it back again afterwards once data centers have been refurbished. So our experience in this is quite broad.
At D. Smith & Associates, we understand that FNB as a financial services organization is a household name. However, from an enterprise perspective, FNB is often viewed as the poster child for innovation. What this innovation means is that the data center infrastructure which FNB utilizes is meant to provide not only support for their banking infrastructure, but also support as a service provider network for all the innovative offerings that they provide to clients. In order for them to be able to deliver this, from D. Smith & Associates perspective, we're able to assist FNB with the development of strategy, focus and deployment of the technologies which surround the data center as well. This would include the network infrastructure and architecture, it would include the data center, compute and storage architecture, and it will include ultimately interconnectivity with other service providers to be able to bring services into these data centers.
After a detailed analysis of the RED 1, 2, 3 and 4 Center, the team has identified some of the key challenges faced.
So for this consortium, the focus is on providing a service to FNB that spans all the disciplines and then taking it steps further as well. For example, starting at the electromechanical planning and design and then moving into the very critical in situ execution of this entire project. Add to that network architecture, impact on ICT strategy, the movement of ICT equipment in such a manner that you don't suffer any downtime from a business perspective, and then looking at white space planning into the future and future-proofing the data centers as the organization itself grows its footprint further into time. And what this consortium offers in that respect is not anything that I think anybody else can offer.
The project team have designed and engineered some unique solutions to the challenges faced, as well as adding some distinctive upgrades. Let's take a look at some of these, starting with the proposed architectural changes.
If we are working in a live environment, we need to make 100% sure that the services remain stable. We cannot get into any of the functions without a stable environment. This will start by stabilizing the existing energy center, which will later become our B feed, and the supporting HVAC systems. Once that is in place, we can then start looking at phase 2, which would be the second energy center, which is a new build. Stage 3 would then tackle the actual energy center floors, and here we'd also have to work with the client, making sure that we decide on the right approach. but we are assuming that we'll tackle the first floor, which is ground, and then we'll slowly do our phased approach to the lower levels. The next phase would include the command center, where we would get all the services or supporting services for the data sorted out, and the last phase would include all the external works, which includes boundary walls, gatehouses, services, incoming and outgoing. Being an existing facility, we certainly need to make sure that we keep the civil works to a bare minimum. I think through past experience, any external works causes vibrations, noises, various bits that, which certainly affect the functioning of an existing facility. In our proposal, we are therefore suggesting that the only civil works that occur would be around the construction of the new energy centre. Here we're keeping the energy centre above ground. It will really be clearing the site, simple earthworks, and get the structure above ground. And in that way we're reducing the civil works to a bare minimum. The rest will require no additional civil works.
Quantity surveying service is essential on any major project. Even more so on a complex project like a data center. What makes this project even more complicated is a data center in an existing building. Therefore, we had a site visit where we walked the site and we asked the relevant questions for us to enable us to do a proper design, which all our electrical, mechanical and data people did. Designs were done, and together with the architect, the building portion to support these services was determined, and we came to a cost calculation for the total project. We therefore have a complete budget that we will manage for the client, where we will not only look at the building portion of this project, but we will integrate all the different services from all the disciplines. And that's why somebody like a quantity surveyor who knows data centers very well will bring all of this together for the client on a financial level.
We've been involved at Fnb about 18 months ago to reinstate one of their UPS supplies after failure. I was actively involved in refurbing the UPS system and cutting over from the existing system to the new one. I've also been involved, or we as a team have been involved in an in-situ refurb of about 2,000 square data center and the introduction of a 10 megawatt energy center. During the refurbishment of the data center, to which we did not have a minute downtime, it necessitated I be seconded to site on a permanent basis for a period of 2.5 years, where we had to comply to the bank's change control requirements, write detailed methodology on how we would transfer the plant in situ from existing power supplies to new power supplies created during the project.
The electrical approach will include upgrading to Tier 4 design certification with complementary paths and a 2N system capacity.
We are proposing to implement the project in 7 stages, taking the entire site up to 14 kilowatt per rack. The initial stages will focus on the in-situ refurbishment of the existing plant, including the introduction of 2 new energy centers that will become the prime base for power for the various floors.
Mechanical changes will be based on a standardized white space concept. Standardization provides transparency across data centers and limits exceptions.
HVAC system for a data center will, what we consider for this data center, will comprise of a primary and secondary chilled water system, which is reticulated in a gridded format. That key allows you total flexibility in terms of the design, which can grow as the data center load grow. You will be able to grow the cooling capacity on this design that we propose. So in terms of a modular approach, the entire system can be modularly implemented throughout the life cycle of the data center.
In conclusion, as I discussed at our previous presentation, the decision you are about to make is all about selecting a partner with which you can go well into the foreseeable future. We certainly hope that we are bringing to the table a partnership such as that, because not only will we deliver on the engineering requirements in your RFP, but we also foresee that we can support whatever we installed for you in the number of years after we've completed the project.